Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Beneath the Philippine archipelago, a discovery of global significance has emerged, one that could reshape not only the nation's future, but also the world's technological and economic landscape. For centuries, the Philippines has been celebrated for its natural beauty, rich biodiversity, and vibrant culture. But now, deep within its earth, a new chapter is unfolding. Scientists and geologists have uncovered vast deposits of rare earth elements, minerals that are not only rare but also crucial for powering the modern world. These elements are the backbone of countless technologies, from electric vehicles and wind turbines to smartphones and advanced medical devices. On September 11, 2025, the world learns the Philippines may hold a treasure trove of these critical minerals, essential for everything from smartphones to advanced defense systems. News outlets across the globe report on the find, and experts quickly recognize its potential to transform global supply chains. This find could break China's long-standing dominance over rare earth supply chains, offering Western nations a vital alternative. For years, China has controlled the majority of rare earth production, giving it significant leverage in global trade and technology. The Philippines' discovery could shift this balance, opening new opportunities for international partnerships and economic growth. With tensions high in the South China Sea, the discovery adds a new layer to regional geopolitics, elevating the Philippines' strategic importance. The nation now finds itself at the center of a complex web of interests, as global powers vie for influence and access to these valuable resources. The stakes are enormous. This could mean economic transformation for the Philippines, with the potential to lift millions out of poverty, create new industries, and attract unprecedented foreign investment. At the same time, it signals a potential shift in the global balance of power, as nations adapt to a new source of critical minerals. But, as excitement builds, questions loom. Can the Philippines extract these resources sustainably, protecting its environment and communities? And will it successfully navigate the complex web of international politics, economic interests, and local impacts that come with such a momentous discovery? The world is watching, as the Philippines stands on the brink of a new era. Rare earth elements, or REs, aren't truly rare, but finding them in mineable concentrations is. This group of 17 metals powers modern life: neodymium and praseodymium for EV motors and wind turbines, europium and yttrium for vibrant screens, and others for advanced military tech. Extracting and refining REs is complex, costly, and environmentally taxing. Few nations have mastered it. Their unique properties make them irreplaceable in green energy, electronics, and defense. Securing a stable supply is a matter of national security for many countries. The Philippines' discovery isn't just about minerals, it's about unlocking the keys to 21st century power. This could finally loosen China's grip on these essential elements. For decades, China has been the undisputed leader in the rare earth market, shaping the global landscape for these essential materials. Rare earth elements, though not widely known to the public, are the backbone of modern technology, powering everything from smartphones and electric vehicles to advanced military systems and renewable energy infrastructure. Today, China controls over 85% of the world's rare earth processing and refining capacity, a staggering figure that gives it immense leverage over global supply chains. This dominance means that most countries, including the world's largest economies, rely heavily on China for the materials that drive innovation and security. This position of power is no accident. Through decades of strategic investment, government support, and strict export controls, China has transformed rare earths into a potent geopolitical tool, using its market share to influence international relations and economic policies. A striking example came in 2010, when China abruptly halted rare earth exports to Japan during a heated territorial dispute. This move exposed the world's vulnerability, as industries from electronics to automotive manufacturing faced sudden shortages and price spikes. The shockwaves rippled through global markets, sending stock prices tumbling and prompting urgent calls for supply chain resilience. More recently, China has tightened its grip even further by restricting exports of advanced technology used in high-performance magnets, components critical for everything from wind turbines to electric cars and defense systems. By controlling not just the raw materials, but also the technology and expertise needed to process them, China has cemented its dominance across the entire rare earth value chain. This overwhelming dependence has left Western nations scrambling for alternatives, as policymakers and industry leaders recognize the risks of relying on a single supplier for such critical resources. In response, countries around the world are investing billions of dollars to develop new mining projects, build processing plants, and foster innovation in recycling and substitution. Yet, progress remains slow, hampered by technical challenges, environmental concerns, and the sheer scale of China's head start. Against this backdrop, the recent discovery of significant rare earth deposits in the Philippines has emerged as a beacon of hope. This breakthrough could provide a much-needed alternative source for the West, potentially easing the stranglehold China has maintained for so long. If developed successfully, the Philippines' reserves could finally break China's near monopoly, reshaping global supply chains and offering new opportunities for economic and technological independence. The Philippines' rare earth find could transform Indo-Pacific geopolitics. For the United States and its allies, it's a chance to build resilient, non-Chinese supply chains and deepen strategic ties with Manila. Expect increased military cooperation, investment, and security commitments from the West. For China, the discovery is a direct challenge, forcing it to reconsider its approach to the Philippines and the region. Other Asian nations may follow suit, seeking their own mineral wealth and partnerships. Japan, South Korea, and the EU will likely rush to secure deals with the Philippines. This could spark a new alliance of democracies, counterbalancing China's influence in the rare earth market. For the Philippines, rare earths could be a game-changer, fueling economic growth, funding infrastructure, and creating high-skilled jobs. The real opportunity lies in building domestic processing and manufacturing, not just exporting raw ore. This could attract global tech companies, turning the Philippines into a high-tech hub. But the risks are real. Corruption, mismanagement, and inequality could squander this chance. Transparent governance and strong anti-corruption measures are essential. The nation must ensure that wealth benefits all Filipinos, not just a privileged few. The difference between a blessing and a curse will depend on how the country manages this windfall. Rare earth mining is environmentally destructive. Open pit mines devastate ecosystems, and toxic waste threatens water supplies. The Philippines' history of mining disasters has left deep public distrust. Extracting these minerals safely will require the strictest environmental standards and independent oversight. Partner companies must use state-of-the-art technology to minimize harm and manage radioactive waste. The true measure of success will be whether the Philippines can protect its natural heritage while pursuing prosperity. The world will be watching to see if the nation can avoid repeating past mistakes. Turning discovery into production is a massive challenge. Comprehensive surveys, billion-dollar investments, and world-class expertise are needed, resources the Philippines must seek from abroad. Attracting foreign partners means balancing investor incentives with national interests. Rare earth processing is highly specialized. Only a handful of companies outside China can do it at scale. Strategic partnerships with the US, Japan, or Australia could bring both technology and geopolitical support. Infrastructure, roads, ports, power must be built from scratch, testing the nation's planning and management. Success will require unprecedented coordination and vision. Experts urge caution. Turning a discovery into a working mine takes years, not months. The process is far more complex than simply finding valuable minerals. It requires careful planning, significant investment, and a deep understanding of both the land and the communities that depend on it. Each step forward must be measured and deliberate, as the stakes are high for everyone involved. Dr. Elena Santos, a leading geologist, warns, "We're at the start of a long journey. The excitement of discovery is just the beginning. Before any minerals are extracted, we must conduct extensive geological surveys, analyze samples, and ensure that extraction is even feasible. This is a process that demands patience, expertise, and a commitment to doing things right. Feasibility studies, permits, and construction could take a decade. Environmental impact assessments are crucial, as is navigating a maze of regulatory requirements. Every permit, every blueprint, and every environmental report represents months, sometimes years of work. The goal is to balance economic opportunity with environmental responsibility and social acceptance. Analyst David Merriman notes, China's scale and low costs are tough to match. Their dominance in the global supply chain means new entrants face steep competition. Western companies will need to innovate and invest heavily to compete, and even then, matching China's efficiency will be a formidable challenge. Western buyers may need to pay a premium for non-Chinese supply. This could reshape global markets as companies and governments weigh the value of supply security against higher costs. Strategic partnerships and long-term contracts may become the norm as buyers seek to diversify their sources. Political scientist Antonio Reyes highlights the risk of a resource curse. Massive revenues can overwhelm weak institutions. If not managed carefully, sudden wealth can lead to corruption, inequality, and social unrest. It's essential that governments build strong systems for transparency and accountability before the money starts to flow. Transparency and community involvement are vital. Local voices must be heard, and benefits must be shared fairly. Open dialogue between companies, governments, and communities can help prevent conflict and ensure that development is truly sustainable. Defense analysts see a new era for the US-Philippines alliance, but warn Manila must balance ties with both Washington and Beijing. The geopolitical stakes are high, and every decision will be closely watched by global powers. The Philippines must navigate these relationships carefully to protect its interests and sovereignty. The Philippines stands at a crossroads, with opportunity and risk in equal measure. The choices made today will echo for generations, shaping not only the nation's economy but also its environment, society, and place in the world. The next steps will shape not just its economy, but its role in global security. As the world's demand for critical minerals grows, the Philippines could become a key player, if it can manage the challenges ahead with foresight and care. Wisdom, not just ambition, will determine the outcome. The path forward demands vision, collaboration, and a steadfast commitment to the greater good. The Philippines faces a generational opportunity. Rare earths could transform its economy and global standing. But the path is fraught with risk, environmental threats, technical hurdles, and the specter of corruption. The challenge is to harness this resource for broad-based progress, not just profit. Success demands transparency, unity, and international cooperation. The world is watching as the Philippines writes the next chapter of its story. Will it seize this moment and build a legacy of prosperity and stability? Or will it become a cautionary tale of squandered opportunity? The answer will shape not just the nation's future, but the world's technological and security landscape.